Good morning, everyone. It is August 19th, 2022. Yes. What do you want? You want to come in? All righty then. You want to go in the house, don't you? Well, go on. No? Where do you want to go? In? All right. It's not food time yet. It's my oldest daughter's birthday, Christina. She's 35 this year. Where did the time go? 35? A 35-year-old daughter. Whoa. Who has her own family, 2 children, wonderful husband. My, oh my. And I found something I want to read in my sister in Faith's book, Dark to Light. It's a beautiful book. If you want some guidance in everyday things. So she painted, look, I'll show you. She painted, these are her paintings, and then short poems also she wrote. This is for my daughter's birthday. You have the design and the stuff of stars and the universe within you. You're stronger than you know. You are loved, heal, and rest, beloved of God. You are a light to the world. Shine on. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Oh, actually, this is not hers. This came from Psalm 139:14. Oh, I just saw that. Interesting. I thought, I'm going to read something out of this book rather than the Bible. It's still the Bible. Thank you, Father. What an amazing thing. Oh, there you go, right? Because, yeah, you may choose a different book, but I'm still giving the message. Ah, thank you, Father. I'm sorry. Well, it's fine. It's fine. I found a way around it, too. I just love it. I love Spirit World. I can't help it. I mean, good Spirit World is just amazing. Sometimes I wish people could just walk half a day in my shoes and realize and understand on how amazing Spirit World is and how amazingly it is to work with Spirit World together. So, my first child. Having my first child. Being pregnant for the first time. You know, you see all this stuff. You know, say, oh, it's so great. This, that, I don't know what. I had no morning sickness or anything like that. That wasn't a part of it. I didn't even know I was pregnant. I had someone else tell me, I think you're pregnant. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. Oh, okay. Turns out I was pregnant. And pregnancy to me was that first time. The other times it was the same way, but then I already knew it was, kind of how it was. It was more of an invasion of, my whole system and going, all right. And it was, the kicks and this, that, to begin with. Oh, yeah. And then, you get bigger and the kicks are like, that was my bladder. That was my, what did you kick this time, I ended up sleeping in a chair, not knowing how to, oh my gosh, geez. And you just, that first time, you everything has to stretch out, and this, that, and it's like, why are people thinking this is such a great thing? I mean, where's the euphoria, that I've been reading about when you're pregnant? Yeah. Well, anyway, which didn't mean it. What I did is it just, whatever was growing within me, it was like, okay, it just became a part of me, right? It became a part of me and it did everything I did. Right? Yes, I have a really strong body, so I didn't have any kind of problems or anything like that. I just didn't, okay? So, we had 3 weeks to go till the due date. I was still working. I was babysitting for a couple that had adopted a baby. Yes, yeah. And the baby was, I guess, due to the formula or something, or maybe, I don't know, but just huge. That baby was huge and really heavy. And, both parents worked. And here I'm pregnant. I'm looking at this baby, adopted. I'm going, why would they both work? Someone should stay home. One of the parents should stay home with this baby. It's just so sad, And I couldn't, because I was pregnant after here, right, already. I couldn't really go anywhere. Why did they even hire me? Because they couldn't find anyone better than me, which was very sad. And so, I did my best, and sat with the baby, and, we watched some TV and this and that. And they had some rules, so I had to kind of stick to the house, and that was fine with me. And that morning I went there, and about 11 o'clock I realized, whoa, something's going on, and worried me a little. So I called the mom of the baby. I said, I think I need to go home. She said, that's fine. I told them, I said, now if anything, that's fine. So she immediately came back so I could leave and go and see my midwife. Yes, we decided to have a home birth. I didn't want to go to the hospital. I have one phobia with hospitals. Okay, why is that? You got to know me. When I walk into a hospital, I immediately am surrounded by spirits. Immediately. And the atmosphere in the hospitals, right? Yes. What could change that? Most likely, and hospitals have chapels, right? Yet, the rest of the hospital, again, chapel is there. And then the rest of the hospital is here. Yes, often you have a chaplain going around this now, but it's not enough. It isn't enough. Every room should have something in it that acknowledges the existence of God. Yes, you know what I mean? The hallways, is it important? Yes, it is. It's important. For an environment like that, where life and death happens together in many ways, there has to be a balance in the spiritual as well, right? Not just in the physical, but in the spiritual. And the one thing is, right, the acknowledgement of spirit world and God has to be visible. Right? Yes? So what? Ten Commandments, the Lord's Prayer. Right? Other things that portray the belief. Right? No? Okay. As I said, it's one of those things, yeah? So I wasn't going to go and have my baby in the hospital. I wanted a home birth. So we met Kathy McDonald because she was one of the midwives at that time when my daughter was born that was practicing privately on her own, and she had a license for everything, and that was all legal, this and that. And it cost $800 to deliver the baby and have the care for it. But I was still under the care of a pediatrician as well. Older gentleman. And I remember, I think I went to 2 appointments and I had it. I was done. And he said, you're going to have a 10-pound boy. I am. How do you know? No ultrasound or anything. Well, it's just my experience. And I'm going, okay. So, difficult delivery. 10 pounds? Oh, holy cannoli. All right. Ouch. I also went to a Lamaze class. By myself. Who needs everybody there? And I learned all the breathing techniques, this, that, But the more fun was all the other women there and their stories about being pregnant. And as I said, hearing, oh, it's so wonderful, this and that. What the hell they're talking about? What's so wonderful about being pregnant? Well, anywho, so I know, right? That's just me, I guess. So I didn't have that. Yeah, I did. Yeah. The thing is, it's like to me, it was kind of like, if I want to explain it, a cake in the oven first time. A cake in the oven, you never know, is it going to turn out all right? Or, all the ingredients, did I do it all right? This, that, you never know. With me in baking, it's like, it's a hit and miss. Other things not, cooking and stuff. But baking, for me, is a hit and miss. Always. So that's kind of how it felt to me. I thought, well, let's just see. In a way, I knew that motherhood for me will begin when I hold that baby in my arms, right? And again, I didn't know how that would begin either. It was totally a new experience for me. How old was I? I was 23 when I had Christina. 22, almost 23. So I went home and called the midwife, and or did I go to her now? I can't remember. And she said, oh, you're dilating. You're 3 centimeters. I'm going, really? Oh, okay. So what now? And I had back pain. A lot of back pain. I had back pain. It's like, what's going on here? And, like I do today. Thanks, Christina. Look, on your 35th birthday, I have back pain. I'm going through it again. And she said, that sometimes happens. And, it could just be, that could go on for another couple of weeks, just, I wouldn't worry too much about it, okay, sure, no problem. So I stayed home all day long. I was kind of doing this, I was doing that. A friend next door was home, and she had experience with children being born and all that. So I kind of hung with her in the backyard and this, that, and in the evening, my husband and a couple of friends that had come to visit from Switzerland went on, and they went to some kind of a concert or something. And okay, so I was there all by myself, and my friend stayed. She said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here with her. I'm not leaving her alone. So I was over at her house. And my back, my back just hurts. But that was it. That was all. That was all there was. Okay, nothing else. There was no contractions. There was nothing. It was just, my back. Okay. I went to the bathroom, and suddenly there is this whoosh, and I'm sitting there. I'm saying, Kathy, something just happened. And she says, you just broke your water. I said, no, I didn't. She said, yeah, you did. She says, let's get you over to. And then immediately a contraction started. Okay, guys, I didn't have pre-labor. Okay, there was nothing like, oh yeah, this, that, like in my other video with my third daughter. It was just no pain except, the back pain. I said, that is kind of, what is that? I went into active labor from 0 to 100 into active labor. First time having a baby. I was not prepared for that. I was prepared for anything else, but not for that. I mean, it was instant pain. I was just, oh my God, what is this? Right? Kathy went right straight, my friend, went straight on the phone, called everybody that she could reach, this, that, and my midwife, of course. So here comes, okay, so Kathy, two Kathys there. So Kathy McDonald, she comes, and we made it over to between, I'm not kidding, 2-minute apart contractions, back to our house, our apartment, and Kathy comes and she checks. She says, "You're 10 centimeters dilated. You're ready to push." I said, "But there's nobody here." And not only that, I was screaming in pain. I was absolutely screaming in pain. It's like I went into shock or something by, what? This is how people have babies? This is like, that's nothing like I was told. Where's the breathing come in here? Or the time I have? Or nothing. So at 10 o'clock, this is what happened. At 10 o'clock at night, my water broke. By some miracle, my husband got there. Everybody got there. Suddenly everybody was there, right? And I'm told by my midwife, okay, start pushing. Well, okay, before that, as I said, every time a contraction came, I was just screaming and hollering. I couldn't take it. It was like, what the heck is this? Not prepared for that. Yeah. No being able to kind of go with, yeah, it's increasing, this, that, and you can kind of stabilize and go with, right? The increase. I had none of that. It was from nothing to absolute excruciating pain. Kathy McDonald, she grabbed my shoulder, she looked at me, she said, "Listen." Because she could tell I was losing it. She said, "Listen, whatever you're screaming out of your mouth, have all that go the other way." Oh, okay. Next contraction comes, and that's exactly what I did. I was able to suddenly, with that guidance, I was able to concentrate and go, okay. Right? She says, "You're ready to push." 2 pushes, she was out. 2. The whole labor took 45 minutes, 10 o'clock to 10:45. And Christina was born, my first one, yes. And she was 6 pounds. 3 weeks early, she was just 6 pounds. She was the tiniest little thing. Oh my gosh, and she was absolutely perfect for her size. Everything was in absolute symmetry. Everything. She had the absolute most beautiful face as well. I mean, just everything was just, it was like it was sculpted, right? To me. Yes? Yeah. So I held her for a little bit, and then I handed her back. I was exhausted. I was totally, and then I got to know what it is to deliver the afterbirth, which for, I guess, a lot of women, that's just a piece of cake. And for me, every time it was, and I'm only going to mention this one time here, it was harder than giving birth. It was more painful and harder to give birth, really, when it came to the length of the time. But of course it happens, this, that, and then, besides that, then when your uterus goes back down, right? Yes. That was very, very painful for me, yeah. So how did I deal with that? Well, I couldn't, again, so allergic to everything. Just now I was going to breastfeed, so I took ginger capsules, ginger tea, and that really, really helped. So there you go. So here she is born, and I, saw her, held her for a bit, this, that, but my whole body was just still in pain. Everything was just in pain. It was such a traumatic, short period of something that I thought was going to take all this time. The Lamaze classes, I forget that stuff. I mean, I was just, breathe when, how, what? It was just not happening. It was too fast. And they had a bath ready for me, and I went in there, and I just, oh my God, this feels so good. And I said, "Do you want the baby?" I said, "No." let everybody else hold her. I just need a moment on my own. So it's like, okay. Then, and there were all these people around. It was really amazing. This is kind of a private moment. These are private moments in a way, with your private body parts and all that, right? And here you are. Well, okay. Naked as can be, this and that, and people just walking around, all right. Yeah, again, American way, maybe. I was raised pretty conservative when it came to all that, which I think was fine and good and right. And so, but, when you're in that kind of condition, before, after, you just don't really care too much. A lot of wonderful people were around at the time of my first child's birth. And eventually, it was late at night now, eventually everything calmed down, everybody left, and here we are with our baby in the bed. Oh, yeah, are you kidding me? Oh, no, once I had, okay, body kind of, okay, this, that, then no, she's not going to sleep anywhere except for right beside me. And I read all the, you could roll over on the baby and this and that. I don't know, I'm going, no, that's not going to happen here. I already know that. It's not going to happen. And here she is, right, nestled between the two of us, high up on the pillow, kind of, and just, oh my gosh, she slept just, woof, yeah. And I remember I looked at her and I had this flash of, you guys are going to laugh about this, at this flash of, that's our baby. We created this. How amazing. And I had this flash of, what if she's going to turn into a monster? Right then and there. Not later in life, but right then and there. I had this just flash of, what if this isn't real? What if this is like a dream and it's going to turn into a nightmare? It was absolutely amazing to have a child. If anybody struggles with, well, this or that, all I can tell you is, if your heart to mind is in the right place, when it comes to being a human being, you are going to absolutely find a love you've never thought could exist for another human being. The love from a parent to a child, that first time, and of course it's every time the same again, but this is the first time, is indescribably beautiful and an adventure, more exotic, more desirable, more worth walking through and with than any other adventure I've ever gone through or still think I could be going through. From that day on, I committed and dedicated my life to being a mother, with whatever came with it. First time mom, and since I'm very stubborn this and that, I wanted to do things my own way. Of course, I had a home birth. And, yeah, okay. And obviously Christina was ready to enter this world. She said, I'm not waiting another 3 weeks. I'm baked. I'm good. She was very, very healthy, regardless. There was one thing, though. My milk was water and something. That poor child. She nursed about every, gosh, dear me, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. She was hungry again. She had to catch up. And I wasn't paid with that. Oh, I can see why people wouldn't want to breastfeed, but again, what would you not do for your child? Again, are you so much more important? The few blisters you're getting this snap for a couple of weeks, so what? You should do your best to breastfeed your child on your own. Just saying. Anyway, some people I know can't. I'm not talking about the exceptions, okay? Talking about not willing at all. Or starting going, this wasn't like what? Yeah. Again, men who want to be women, are you nuts? I'm not getting this. Well, anywho, curling my toes. Oh, I remember that was so sweet. My husband would, he'd realize, oh my gosh, because she stayed with us in the bed, and I would just turn over and pop boob in, but it's like, ooh, and he'd take my hand and hold my hand when I'm curling my toes, going, oh, for the first, so many seconds. That was I remember that sweet moment too. Yes, again, you're a family together. Well, anywho, and the comfort and support was there from the one that wasn't hurting. So she was 3 months old. Oh, all right, so we went to a checkup. I found a pediatrician, went to a checkup. 3 weeks later, and he said, oh, she's 10 pounds. And I'm going, she was 6 pounds at birth. How did she gain 4 pounds in 3 weeks? And I realized, you got to go someplace else. So I went someplace else. Turns out she was 7 pounds and 10 ounces or something. I wondered, what the heck was wrong with the scale of the other one, right? I found me a really, really good pediatrician. And everything, she was healthy. Everything was fine. She got the K vitamin shot and all that kind of stuff that she needed to get. And I have to say, when I get it, that nurses sometimes, they've done this so many times, so what, but for a first time mom, I went and that nurse grabbed that foot and just stuck that needle in the foot, in the toe. That hurt like hell. And Christina's screaming, this and that, and I'm sitting there going, you could not have done that a little more gentle? This is a newborn baby. Yeah. So, I get it. It kind of becomes just, here's another one with a baby that needs, when she had a home birth. Yeah. You're going to let the baby suffer? Oh, I left there. I never went back. I went back to my pediatrician after she, and I said, I want, whatever they need, I need to go someplace where they still have a heart for children, okay? Where the routine hasn't blocked that yet. So I had a great pediatrician for all of my children. His name was Stephen Kovaleski. Stephen Kovaleski. I wonder, I don't know how old he is now. Probably retired. Wonderful pediatrician. Loved him. Also read books up on another pediatrician that wrote. He's had lots of experience on how on immunizations, the pros and cons, this and that. I suggest for every parent to do that, to read up on these things and then go in with some knowledge, right? And what I did is I went in and said, yes, we're going to have this and this shot, but that's it. No more than that. And they're like, well, why can't we just give all 4 of them? I said, no, she was born, 3 weeks early and this and that. So no, we're not going to do that. Please. And they were fine. They were, okay, all right. And then you'll just come back. I'll come back in another couple of months. Then we'll do the other ones. And I stayed cut up that way. To give my child enough time, right, with whatever she had, antibodies and things, right? And that's why breast milk is important, to digest, right, what she was given for immunizations. Oh, did I consider not immunizing my children? No, I did not consider that. Ever. And the reason for it is because I know people who had polio. I know people who have sustained brain damage due to childhood diseases. And I also knew of people who, due to the fact that their immune system, their illness or this or that was so bad, or they couldn't, they were very susceptible, for example, to certain things, that other diseases that could have killed them. For example, the chicken pox. Though my children didn't get immunized for chicken pox, they did all get their chicken pox. Okay, that was one thing. Certain things I said, no, that's still okay. That still looks okay. Would I do it today? It seems like as soon as immunizations got out there, there's something switches as well in the actually childhood disease, and it becomes stronger somehow, then more lethal, right, than it used to be. Well, anyway, interesting studies that I've come up with. So yes, my children were immunized, but they were immunized according to what I felt was the safest way, not the doctors, the parent. And if you go and look up the problems with immunization, often the child either had already some kind of pre-existing condition, a disease, where immunizing it was just not the right thing to do, regardless. Right? But it could have lived without the immunizations because so many other healthier children did get them, and that child would have had. Right? Yes. It's all this stuff that I just don't understand, why people can't just work together, that for the few that are allergic, the few that shouldn't, because the serums in the snack could cause some problems within them due to, I don't understand why we can't work together like that. And then, okay, this child, we have to be very careful. We can't bring a child around that has this or that or that or that, right? We can't do that. So another child can live and doesn't have to be shoved into the same box as everybody else, though the side effects of an immunization could be deadly, or, as I said, can cause brain damage and other things. Right. Okay. Getting a little more into... So that's what I did. And the other thing, what makes doctors think that 6 immunizations at the same time for a child under 6 months old, that they can digest that their physical system can digest that properly? Where did they get their degree? Their medical degree? That's what I'm saying. I studied up on all this stuff. I did. So here's Christina, 3 months old. Okay, so I have a semi-unhappy child, always hungry. I'm going, oh my God. And I was, after 3 weeks, I was done. I mean, I was so tired. I couldn't get my energy back up. I knew I was starting to get anemic and this, that. And after all this constant, breastfeeding, and I could tell she just wasn't satisfied. At 3 months old, she grew teeth. She got her teeth. 3 months old. All right, you're 3 weeks early, 6 pounds, and at 3 months you're getting your first 2 teeth. Well, who heard of that? Right? So I thought, well, she has teeth. It's almost like from Spur. It was like, she has teeth. What does that mean? I went back to the doctor, explained the situation. I knew I was getting anemic because I had almost like fainting spells. I would go places and I would see the black dots, this and that. I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm really lightheaded here. And I asked, can I feed her? He said, yeah, you can. So again, what did I do? Go and get some formula, some rice cereal or something? No. Why would I feed stuff like that to a brand new little body? No, I fed her oatmeal first. I got organic oatmeal, and then I cooked it, And I had this little thing that you just turned like this, handheld, right? And I mashed it through there and came out real nice and fine. And I started to feed her. Oh my gosh. Oh, you should have seen this child. Oh my God. Oh, you would have. Well, we didn't have, couldn't make videos. Oh, she was just, oh, oh, oh. And she just had a few mouthfuls. And then another thing, I said, what else can I feed her besides? I don't want to feed her formula. And he said, soy milk. Try soy milk. Okay. Organic. So I went and got some organic soy milk, just regular. And I did 1/3 soy milk and 2/3 water. Okay. Yeah, you have to be careful again what you introduce, right? To see how she does. Had a few bites of that oatmeal. I was just, got to start slow. There's a reason why we don't feed babies certain things, okay? Citrus, before the age of 2, you are introducing allergic reactions to your child's system. Right? Got to be very, very careful with other dairy products as well, right? Yogurt's a little bit different, right? But milk and this, that, you should wait. You should wait and introduce that little by little, not in big quantities, because that is what the stomach of a baby's not designed, okay, to digest milk that's 10 times the size. That's meant for 10 times the size, a calf, than a newborn or a baby, for example. Okay? Formula, there's a lot of stuff in there. It's what it is. Yeah? People have to go and read up on it on their own. That's what I did. Yes. I was a first-time mom. I'm giving you everything as a first-time mom, what I did, okay? To have a healthy child and to have no problems. Or try to make sure I'm not introducing problems into my child's health. By not being informed. Yeah. So that's what I did. I just read up and I did. I said, okay. Oh. After she had that little meal of oatmeal and no salt or nothing. No. That little meal of oatmeal and gosh, what was it? 4 ounces of soy milk and water. She slept for 3 hours. And I'm like, whoa, this is great. Right? Yes. Then I talked to my mom and told her, I said, man, Mom, I'm really going through it. Because of the constant feedings, this and that. She said, I have the perfect recipe for you. Get some red wine, some good red wine. Glass of red wine, which is about a cup, I guess. Cup of wine, tablespoon of sugar, and a raw egg. Put it in the blender until it's nicely blended up and drink that. And drink that for about 3 days in a row, and you'll be fine. Whoa, yeah, was I fine? It was, after the first one, and so it's like an immediate difference I could tell. That, iron is what makes you, if you don't have enough iron, is what makes you anemic. Well, and anyway, that combination, I said, wow, Mom, this is just, that's what I did. There you go. Yeah. Worked like a charm. And whew, it sure helped. Anywho, that's my story. My birthday story, August 19th. She was born in 1987. August 19th, 1987. There is nothing to compare to that day for me. That day was the birth of our first child, my first child. And I would have to say, regardless on anything else out there, even the blessing my marriage, the blessing, marriage. I don't know, what else is there? First communion for me, as growing up as a Catholic or whatever. Having retold the story, I have to say that in my life, the most amazing day of my life, the purpose of my life, which is to bring God joy, will always be August 19th, 1987. The day I became a mom to an amazing, wonderful little girl. She was absolutely beautiful. Amazing, right? Yes? Yeah. So, my dearest, darling, oldest daughter, 35 years old, I wish you a wonderful, happy birthday. Proud of you. Everything you accomplished. So far. And she too has given me already 2 grandchildren. And they are both amazing children as well. Incredibly intelligent, incredibly fun and entertaining and loving. I am blessed, beyond blessed. I am euphoric. All right. That's what I wanted to share today. August 19th, 2022. Another birth story to balance. Do you want to? Do you not want to? Don't make that a question anymore. The most beautiful thing in your life, regardless, if you embrace it, will be to have a child. And I know, right? But how about the ones? That's a different story. And I have no doubt that parents who adopt a child because they can't have their own often are blessed after that with one of their own. Interesting, right? They truly adopt a child and love it as their own. There's no difference. There will be no difference. They have a birth story as well. It's just a little different. But to heaven, we make a difference here. Yeah, so you can tell the story, but other people, that's what you're doing. Heaven doesn't make a difference. When you take on a child, any child, grow it in your womb yourself, or take on someone else's child, save someone else's child, heaven doesn't make that kind of difference. And regarding you as a 100% amazing, superhuman parent. So why are you doing that? See, don't do that. Right? Yeah, then we're all allowed to tell our stories on how beautiful parenthood is. If you take responsibility. Yeah. Never give up. Never give in. God's love and blessings always. Now we'll talk to y'all another time.